Hello, my name is Alex, and in this video I will describe how to use the style selector and GUi models in the Pixel website. So you really need to understand and follow closely this video if you really want to go really serious on image generation. You won't be always able to generate what you want with. So the style selector feature is only for premium. The base idea of style selector is instead of only guiding with text, you can also guide it with text and image. That's the idea. So why image? Because with image you can provide a lot more informations which are not available through text. Through text you could specify a color palette with letters. It's really messy and it's a good way to work with. So there's a style selector feature available on some models, not all the models. For example, 16 pixel ultra 16 basic version 2. So just please search if a model you're looking for doesn't have a style select feature. Just search in versions. You will find some with style selector, so select image references. Exactly, select image references button. For free users it won't be available. One thing to consider is the image resolution. So the image resolution is actually what image size are you going to provide. 16 pixel, 32 pixel, 64 pixel, you need to provide the same image. If you're going to input a really big image, I know I'm telling things to people, I'm saying don't put 64 pixel on 16, and the second after I tell him that, he's putting a 64 pixel image into a 16 pixel model. And he's asking me why it doesn't work. So you really need to be careful. I've done a lot of checks in the back to make sure people don't fail on this, but still people still manage to fail it. So really people, you really need to follow closely the resolution of the image with style selector. If you don't know what is an image, if you're mixing image, texture, model texture and models terms, you really need to search through internet to understand those terms, because after that you're going to mix everything up and you're going to ask me, oh, I have a texture of a pig, but why can't I see a pig appearing on my screen? Because it's a texture you will apply on a 3D model later. It's not the 3D model, the actual 3D model. So there's a lot of aspects you really need to understand and separate, otherwise you're going to mix them because you have a lack of knowledge on them, and it's really going to be a mess. So there's a little assistant I've made, which Pixel GPT v1. It's available in the description. It's with the PO website. You need to register with a Google account. Don't think we're going to mess up with the Google account. It's PO, it's not me actually managing the website. It's the same brand as Opera. So you can ask Pixel GPT a lot of questions about the models, about the website, about images, about models, etc. He will try to respond you the more closely as possible to what you're saying. But remember, it's a chatbot, so it's perfect, it's AI, but still there's like 99% of questions I see on the Discord which could be responded by this model. So going back to the subject, my image, I've made an image. So the idea, I want an image which has the same shape as this. So let's say it's the head of a fish. So yes, I don't remember the name of the fish, but anyway, I want a fish head like this, with this shape. If I try to prompt it to the AI, it will maybe draw something similar but not exactly the same. I'm going to provide a reference image to guide the generation. So I go on my account, my reference images, select images. So remember, I've provided a 16 by 16 image. If it's a little bit blurry here, don't worry, it's normal. I go back to home, Pixel Ultra 16 Basic version 2. Select this AI model, very important. If you don't know how to use PT, please look at the video before. And style selector. So select image references is only available for premium. It's called select image references, not available for free users. You want the button. If you go on select image reference, you select, for example, shape. What is shape? So like I said, don't mess up. If I provide this as shape, it's going to mess up the AI. It's really going to mess up the AI because this is not the good resolution. Please use the same resolution as the model. There will be a little exception with the GUi model. I will explain you in details. For the rest, please use the same resolution. So shape, I'm going to so image strength is only for base, shape strength for shape, style strength is for style. You can select multiple images for style. You can select only one image for base. You can reset here if you want. So image strength, shape strength. So shape strength, for example, I put a strength of 50%. Why not increasing too much the shape strength? The more shape strength, the more the image is going to flat, because it's going think it as a pixel attractor. With image shape, it's going to find the shape of this, so it will draw some kind of lines around it, which is contour, and it's going to draw some lines around it, and it's going to ask the pixel to go in the shape direction. But if you put only 60%, it will only force only the pixel, the AI model pixel near the edges, only the one close, and not all the pixel, because we actually want some pixels inside. If you put a shape strength of 100%, yes, you will get the perfect shape, but sometimes, and not always, you will get a flat color filled in. So that's the idea. It's the same thing as the GUi. If you want something inside the cells, for example, or things like this, to smaller image strength, but sometimes it's going to mess up the cells if you really want to guide it, etc. So that's the idea. I'm going to put something like 70% shape affected by small transparent details. So sometimes for 16 by 16 image is really not important, but for some other images, sometimes the contour you see inside are very not clear. Sometimes it's going from gray to a little bit darker gray, and it can't find the contour. So if you want to increase the detection, you can increase it. We don't need it there. Shape affects percent of generation. So this is a really good feature. It helps filling in the pixels when it's following too closely the shape. So for example, if you've got a too much flat image, you can lower this a little bit. What does it mean? It will mean at the first step of the generation, it will guide the image shape, and at the end, it will add a little bit more details without shape guidance. That's the idea of option. So we'll put something like 90%. Overall style strength, you see pixel 16 is the style. You can lower the stress that. You can force the color palette. It only works the base image, and you can use color style, but like you said, color style is only working with base image. So no, for color palette, it's only working with style. And the color style, it's using base image. If you really want to use the same color palette, provide a similar item with a specific color palette, put the image strength at 0, and try to generate. So I think it's everything's clear. Apply selection. I select this AI model. What fish head really select image reference. Yeah, and we can go. So you can see the model is selected here. So it's going to take a bit of time. Remember, when you're going through the select image reference, you're adding some steps to the generation, and you're slowing it down, and you're asking it to prepare a bigger environment than this one. So we've got the progress bar. I know the progress bar is not freezes. Sometimes the generation doesn't refresh even after 1 hour. Click delete. If it's frozen, click delete at least times. So in the meantime, I'm going to explain other features. When you've got select image reference, sometimes the guidance doesn't help enough. You can put image strength. If you put an image as base, you are really going to force the generation to start from this image to generate another image. You're really going to start. It's not a shape guidance, but you're really going to ask it to start from that base image to work with. So for style, it's a mix of the two. So it's going to affect the color of a generation, but also the shape a little bit. So you see, when it's going like this, it means it hasn't followed our shape enough. So there will be some failures. You need to experiment. Actually, what I do if I want it more close generation, I just hit like this, or I put black there, because maybe the red color so also shape as by small details. I'd increase it, and yeah, pretty much what I do. Generate image. So maybe also it didn't find the contour, so I increased this. Didn't detect the edge. It's not following the shape closely. It's one option you can mess with. Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about the option individually. Style, for example, if you're using this as style, so the style image is the only thing you can use with different resolution. So if you've got a 16 pixel model, you can use style with different resolution, but I don't recommend it at all. You can do it, but I don't recommend it. But people are going to play with it, and anyway, it will work a little bit, but that's the idea. When you're asking for style, you're also asking for the generation to have kind of the same shape of the image you're providing. You can say multiple images as style is going to find the pattern between those images. If the pattern is different, it's going to mess up. It's close, not going to mess up. Okay. It's also going to influence the colors to use, but it won't influence enough to use the same color palette. Sometimes the model is using a specific color, a pink color, for example, most of the time. But for your generation, you only get blue colors. If you provide a pink style image, it will drive the generation towards pink generation, but it won't use the actual color of the reference image, but it will use it if you have very big style string. Okay, so that's the idea. You can find in my images, my pictures. So you see, it's really not guiding enough. So now you really need to play with. I think it has two colors. There's a lot that red is clearly on white background, even if it seems obvious for people. It's always that obvious in black. No, I shouldn't play with things too much because people will stand it. Okay, alright, so I'm back with an actual model reference. So yeah, now I'll just upload a new reference image with black this time as shape. I'm going to strength a lot. Okay, shoot fish head. And I'll generate again. Maybe the color black will help. Sometimes it depends on the background, foreground, etc. It's going towards. It's going towards. We need to force it a bit more because we not add a lot. So you see, this is an example of failure. It's not a total failure, but it kind of followed the shape. I think for a fish head, my shape is a little bit weird. So yeah, if the shape is weird, I'm not sure it's going to work. But you can experiment with it. Video is not about showing if it works or not. You can use a lot of AI models and different AI models to play with it, but I think you got the idea. It's not going to work well at first time. When it's too messed up, you're trying to fish somewhere, but it's like not easy to do it. Also, some models doesn't have the capabilities at all, so it really depends. But anyway, I think you've got the idea. I will go to GUi now. If you've got some questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the Discord. But I think you got the idea. There's a shape, there's a base image. I know I could get, so yeah, a bit close even though it's not what I asked. But it's getting to the shape. You see it, the shape, it's not perfect. I could use it as base image to be honest, but I don't want a black and white image in the end. Even though it will still work, but I try it just for experimentation. Oh, also I should have, well, it wasn't very big, lower. Yeah, it's not zero strength here. It's a very good way to make sure the shape is okay, to use it as base image. It also helps follow pictures. That's why it's follow up. So yeah, right now it's completely following the shape because I've said base image. See, you can actually derive. You saw all the iterations of settings we did. It's going more and more toward the shape. It's why you really need to work with the AI model. Also, a little trick I can give you is put some really weird colors inside. You can use noise if you want, but you can also put weird colors. If you really want specific colors, you can help the generation filling in one color in particular. But that's the idea. I won't do it here, but that's the base idea. You can conduct more and more of the generation towards something that looks like rest person. Don't know from which settings. I think it was an old generation, this one, because the queue didn't fill up completely, probably because it's none of the settings just before. So yes, remember the generation queue is not the first that goes in, is the first to go out. No, it's a random and it depends on priority. That's the idea. Alright, so we got this. You could play with the image editor, like I said, with the colors. You can add noise, it also helps a lot. Noise actually works very well. But that's the idea just for style selector. I won't do a bigger tutorial because I like time. I will go through the GUi model now. We will try to make a pretty good GUi. So I know people want to use the preset. So in MC and GUi 250. So what I recommend people to do is creating a 250 image like this, putting the kind of GUi you want onto the image. So you put it at the center, please. So if you've got, I don't know, I'm going to make a mess. It's really not like this, the Minecraft GUis. Let's say it's your GUi, it should be pretty much like this in here, in the middle. You see, once you've your GUi, you can upload it as image reference. I've already uploaded it. It's this one. You can either upload it 256 by 256 resolution, or the best to avoid failures is to upscale it to 238 by 238. By upscale I mean, for example, Topea, I in image I do 248 by 2048. Yes, I select nearest or plus proche, nearest, and if I zoom out, scale, export it to PNG. I won't do it there. I'm going to use 256 because I'm playing with the thing. When you see just this, just refresh the page. Some people are scared when just refresh the page, it will work. So 250 pixel MC GUi version 4. I select this AI model. So you can use the preset. The preset you will have some bad experience sometimes. You can play with it, but like I said, you can have experience sometimes, like the cells which are filled in. So to help with that, you can say empty cells, empty slots I meant. In the prompt, it helps a lot to make empty. But yeah, you've got a lot of presets you can use if you are really lazy and you don't want to mess up with the style selector feature. Personally, I style selector feature because it's where you have more control on. So we're going to use the shape of this GUI, and we're going to use it also as base, but base image with an image strength of 0. For style, I'm not going to ask to provide any style yet, maybe later, but right now no. If you want to change page also, I didn't say change page here. So base image shape, style strength, image strength, shape strength I recommend 70%. Shape affected, yeah, pretty high also a lot, so yeah. Shape effects sometimes between 50 and 70% is pretty good. We try something like this, and okay, and now Roman Empire, double chest GUI slot. Select this model. So you see, if we compare this image style to my prompt, completely different. So I'm not sure the colors will be okay, but we'll play with it. Generate image. Yeah, I want to do a second thing. Yeah, select image reference. You can also select for style, for example, this one. I made myself for inventory. So actually, I can't show you full GUI, but this GUI, I made it by hand using the website. So yes, you can pretty good GUI. It's the same as this one. This one, it's a double chest slot I made, which was made with the website preset. So I had to do some photo editings, but in 5 minutes, I could have a double slot chest pretty good. You just need to be a little bit smart. If you have never done any image editing before, you will be completely lost. You're going to see some fully cells which are fully with some weird pixel art inside. What you can do is just take a slot with empty and duplicate it over and over. People, when they have done a lot of image editing stuff, they don't get the idea straight. So it's good to also know a little bit about image before going to that. So I've got my GUI. So yes, one thing we can see here, it hasn't followed the shape. So it has started to introduce some concepts which are pretty good honestly, but it hasn't followed the shape. So there are two solutions. Either you copy one cell, duplicate it like I said, or you go into the settings, the base shape. We can increase slightly the image strength, 10% more. We can increase the image shape strength and the shape affects persons of generation. Sometimes something that works pretty well, I find, you see, you try it there, you see that the second generation had the same issue with mixed lot. You need to understand that playing with settings is night and day result. You can get a perfect result completely bad after because you've messed up one setting. So don't think the settings are affecting a little bit. So remember, but it's putting some concepts, copy that, clear the area, duplicate some slots. Honestly, if I were you, I would have duplicated. Some people are too easy and have a straight good image to work with. And sometimes it does help actually because there are more details. So, okay, time, wait. Alright, maybe there are some people in the case, probably, yeah, some people are. So the GUi model version 4 is the small model. There will be a bigger AI model for this one. Should come in about 1.5 months if I'm not wrong. Which will be way more active, will be more accurate in terms of 88%. Alright, so we're starting to get some results actually. It started following the cells correctly. So you see we have increased the image strength and it has increased the accuracy of the generation, but still, so you could copy me. What I would do honestly, I would copy the cells one on top of the others. To be honest, if you're too lazy, yeah, we can go further on. Okay, what is the second generation? Shape strength. Now we like near to the end. Okay, so we're getting some concepts, and even though also I pretty much like the colors, so you see you can pretty much increase way more the accuracy for the generation. I'll be honest, I have some suspicion, but I think that the image strength is the issue here because a little bit too high. So, but you see, we're getting some accuracy, something here. So now you just have to duplicate the slots in Photopea on our photo editor, and you could get pretty good. It's just a question of image editing at the end. You can get pretty good results. So that's the idea for GUi. You can play a lot with the settings, but what I still recommend is go in Photopea, just duplicate the slot. I just demonstrate. It's really so no, the video will be too long, but you just you copy this and you duplicate it here. Okay, it's really easy. I don't have time for this video because it will be too long, but that's the idea. You can do different kind of GUIs. You can put different kind of GUIs as input. Remember that what is the two parameters to consider image strength. Here, if you put a 40% image strength, it's going to use your GUI that you provided as base image, and it will derivate 60% of it. Here it's going to derivate 99, okay? And still the 1% are extremely important. You've seen how it has affected the colors like a lot. Even though it's not the same color, it's pretty much similar color and the same as style of slots. So I think you get the idea. So I'll leave you on this video. I hope it was a useful video, and I'll see you later. Bye.